and thanks for tuning into my video. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And today I got a little surprise for you. Today I have a RPB Industries Incorporated, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, an M10 45 caliber ACP open bolt M10. As you can see, it is empty. It's open bolt, and I'll go through that in a minute. But this is the one I have a few videos kind of about. This is actually an add-on barrel extension. Here's your magazine. This, I believe, is the 32 round 45 ACP. This is your receiver. Okay, this is the lower and this is the upper. It's Cobra, RBC, double stamped Cobra. This is a 1982. They never made any more open bolts after 1982. The open bolts are kind of frowned on by the ATF because they could be modified into machine guns very easily. So without ado, let's go ahead and start the review. I'm going to go through some simple disassemble and some information about it. And let's go ahead and do it, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take this down and show you some of the stuff about it. First of all, here's your magazine. They make a, I believe, a 30, even make a 50 round magazine for these guns. To take the magazine out, there's a little attachment here. You just press that up and you pull your magazine out. Okay, let's get the magazine out of the way here. We'll come back to that. As you can see, it's kind of how the gun looks. Very heavy. There's some differences in here, and I'll get into them in a minute. And let's go down with the camera a little closer. So here is your barrel extension. It's a pretty heavy gun. It's all steel, very well made. Okay, this is not a suppressor, but they give you a barrel extension. This is for when you're firing to hold your hand on it, so it doesn't get hot. It is threaded. There is some companies which will, let me get a little better close up on this. Okay. There is some companies that will go ahead on these guns and thread this barrel here to fit a regular suppressor. So we're going to go ahead and take the gun down real quick and show you some things about it. Okay. So in order to take the gun down, it's not a very difficult operation. Okay. It's really pretty easy to take it down. I'm going to show you how to take it down. We'll get into the operation of this later on, but you can see it's empty. On this, there is no bullet here. Okay, it's and I'll show you a little bit more about it. It has a safe and a fire. Okay, that's all it is on there. What you want to do is keep it on fire, and you want to pull the trigger, and your slide will go forward. Okay, and at the same time, when it goes forward, it will fire. You go ahead, and there's a pin right here. Everyone have kind of different pins. And let's go ahead and get the sling off first. Let me get it easier to work with. Take the sling off. Okay, get the sling out of the way here. Let's go ahead and you will just basically, normally these have a little pin in them. And I don't have the pin for this one, but there's a little pin here. You can see this. You pop that off. Okay. You would take the upper and just push like this. And you can slide that right off. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom of here and show you some stuff about this. As you can see, the open bolt is pretty much, basically it's a machine gun. The only thing in here, it has a little rail here. You can put your block in here, and you have to just drill this out a little, and you can put your stock in there. But that requires registering as a short barrel weapon. Now down in here, if you look at this part in here, you notice it doesn't have a selector. You would have to drill this out, but it doesn't really matter. That's if you want select fire. There's two parts here, right here. And here, if you shave these down, then this gun will be full automatic. And it'll basically be a machine gun. And that's all you really have to do. Then when you press on the trigger, it will just keep going until you let go, and then it will lock back. But I mean, we're going to get into all that, but these are very heavy, very well made. This one's about 32 years old, built in 1982. Now let's go up to the upper mechanism, the top. This is your upper, and to take off the upper, it's pretty simple. You just have a little, you line it up, and you just kind of, get this here, you line it up, just turn this, and you pull this part right out, and you're able to slide off the bolt. Now, you'll notice a few things, and we'll try to go down here a little closer. Okay, notice on the bolt here, see the little nub, that is the firing pin. There is no internal firing pin on this. What happens is, the bolt just grabs the bullet, okay, like this. Okay. Show you. Just grabs it something like this. Okay, see? And when this goes forward, this little nub, when it goes forward, the weight of all this hitting it fires a bullet, and then the bolt goes back. But this is kind of what it looks in here. Get you back up so you can see a little bit better. And this is like your buffer. You can buy new buffer pads and for it and everything, but this is in pretty good shape, this gun. Really. You know, there's very little rust on it. And putting it back together is pretty simple. This is just really a cursory review here. Let me go and get some oil first, and we'll oil it up to oil. What I'm going to use is Corrosion X. I use that on most of my firearms. So put a little on here. We'll just rub it real good. Lube it all up real good. Very little wear on this gun, because this thing probably, I mean, this really hasn't been fired much. You can see how much is that? A little bit, very, very little wear. So I lube that up real good, and right up in there, drop a little in there, okay, and then put it back together, straight forward, and you put it back together. You have this little pen, right? You can only really go in one way. Kind of go in there and out. You just get it kind of there, and it's in. Shut that. Sort of like that. And you can see it's closed bolt. Not closed. I'm sorry. Open bolt. Okay. Open bolt gun. And let's go ahead and lube up some of the parts inside there. This is an exceptional shape, this gun. I mean, really, doesn't even look like it's been fired that much, but we should lube it up real good. And loop it up in here, because that Corrosion X is supposed to really help with rust. And that's really probably what you got to worry about these, but man, this thing has been taken care of. It's in really, really good shape. And you know, if I was going to do it, I could pull off the grips, and I think I'll pull off the grips on this too, and put a little down in there too. Okay, and putting it back together, I'll just move it up real good, because this Corrosion X, I heard, is very good for guns. It really helps. Look at it, it's already, looks like it's taking some of the crap off there. To put it back, basically it's pretty much very simple assembly. I'll put this back up here. I'm not going to go taking all the bolt apart, but you would line it up like this, push it in. So you just line it up and push. There, it's in. See how easy that is? Put a few drops of oil in there. Take this. You just have to push a little bit that way. A little pressure. And a little bit more. And you pop it in. It's in. It's together. Very easy. Very heavy gun. And I'm going to show you on the open bolt how this works. Okay, again. Now, when you're going to load a round in here, what they recommend, okay, is you pull it back. It'll lock. Now, you have a lock here too. You can lock this. You can lock these bolts too. You can lock it if you want to lock it. You know, You don't have to, but you could lock this back. But you're going to safety here, so pop your safety on, and the bolt does not go forward. Once you load a magazine, let's say I'll get a dummy round. Go back up here. Okay, got a dummy round. Put a dummy round in there, right like that. Okay. Let's say it was loaded. You would take it. All you do is knock the safe off, put it on fire, your chamber, then fire. It would fire right there. Okay, that's firing. This bolt comes down, and then it would eject your shell. I just didn't do it hard enough, and your shell would just eject right out. I'll show you that's working. To do it a little harder with this. Okay, so fired, then your shell would just come right out like that. Okay, then you press again, and it would load the next one. This would go back and lock back. On a submachine gun, as long as you held your finger down, it would keep going back and forth. That's the big difference there. Let's go ahead. We'll pull off the grip here real quick for you. Show you inside there how that looks. It's really more like a piece of memorabilia. You could take it out. I'm sure it's a good shooter, and I'll try to get some range videos of shooting. This is pretty much your spring and everything in here. You can see all that's pretty clean in there. There's no dirt or grease or oil or anything in there. It's a very simple gun. When they created it to be simple. You pop that back on, screw it in there, and that's pretty much how it is. And this is the Mag 10. Let me get all parts here for you, show you. This is the Mag 10, and open bolt, 45Acp, and we'll put a little bit more on this, but this doesn't look like a lever rust. This is in pretty good shape. Like I say, they do make a threaded barrel for this where you could put the suppressor on there, 578 by 28 millimeter, which is pretty nice. They do make a nice suppressor for that. So, but thanks a lot for watching the video. Tell me what you think. Hopefully this was interesting to you, and gave you some insight to these guns and kind of the construction of them and why they're such sought after guns. So thanks a lot and have a great day. I appreciate you watching my video, and have a good one.